Hey guys, we're going to have a great show tonight, and thanks for belonging with us tonight. So we've got Neil and Tony, both Devon County councillors and longtime residents. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Right,
You're with
sorry.
us. You're with us.
Yeah,
here.
I'm back. I'm back from holiday.
And we've got Doug, who's
I've been relegated this time, so.
and we got Doug, who's a member of our dream team, and I think I need to explain what that is. Again, okay?
What's that?
A dream team. It's not Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, right, Doug?
No,
But the dream team is reincarnated out of our campaign team, which we had 30 people for the May elections, and since then we've been reconstituting ourselves, and we've whittled it down to 7 core people that are working 24/7. I'm over at Neil's house at 6:30 sometimes. Doug texts me at midnight, so does Anthony. We're a bit crazy here.
And I say I was in bed at that time.
Yeah.
So.
And then Karen's sending wild emails to people. So we have 7 very committed people. We don't really. We're just awaiting maybe some boost from the branch, right, Neil?
A bit of direction. That's what I say.
There you go.
So
Thank you very much.
That's what I'm waiting for, guys. So from the get some direction so we can release ourselves.
Yeah.
That sounds good. I like that.
Yeah, and we're going
Like
into
a coiled spring.
as we said before, we're going into fighting mode. And why are we doing that? Because we're going
Well,
to
because we want change, Rob, as you well know.
well, more than that, we're going to defeat labor, and we're not going to have any more woke. Okay.
Essentially, we don't want to see Labour in Exeter. They haven't done anything for Exeter of any great consequence. Over the years, they've managed to waste money thinking that they could set up and run businesses. For instance, the building company. What happened? It closed down. What did it cost us? £10 million. What happened with the sports centres, Clifton Sports Centre?
Yeah.
They diddled and daddled and nothing happened.
Okay. Thank you, Doug.
Actually, I drove by that this morning, and it's just a pile of rubble.
No,
Yeah.
they're starting to build. They've just started doing the exploratory.
So let's crack on with the show,
what was
guys.
it?
Oh, yeah, sorry, we're diversified.
Yeah.
What
Okay.
was it? A weed garden, was it?
Yeah.
I gotta keep control of you guys. You're back from holiday. You're raring to go. So what's on tonight? We're going to have Neil and Tony, of course. We're going to talk about all their interesting things that they're doing for you all out there in their divisions, and then we're going to talk about some of the interesting local and national news. This is news that you may not hear through the BBC. Okay, and then we're going to talk about 2 topics. Right, one is the LGR, and one is the redevelopment in the city that's going on, Doug. Right?
There's several
You
potential
better explain what LGR is, by the way.
local government review.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll put that
Awesome.
one in just in case people don't know these acronyms.
Yeah, and I think if you look at one of my messages I put out on Facebook, it just does a little bit of an outline what's actually going to happen. But there's a lot of meat to that, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
Which will come out.
So, and don't forget, guys, call in, okay? Last week I think we had Ann and someone else. Thank you, Ann, for calling in last week. And all you have to do is dial that number, and you'll get instructions, okay? It's really fun, and you can ask whatever you want. You don't have to be a member anymore, just anybody, even if you're calling from California.
Yeah.
Well, I dialed, didn't I? I was next to the beach, so
You
I
did.
couldn't really hear you,
Yeah.
but it was quite good. Yeah. Not just
So,
to rub it in, the beach was
Yeah,
pretty good.
we don't care what questions they are. We don't pre-plan this.
Okay, so here we go with the show, okay? Tony, I'm going to play one of my favorite videos
I'd rather
you.
you didn't. I'd rather you
Jess,
didn't, but there we are.
Could you flash that up? Play that.
It's just so embarrassing now, but there we are.
I'm Tony, your St Thomas and Exwick Reform candidate. You want change? Vote for me. May the 1st. Be there.
Well, yeah. I mean, like I say, I'm really pleased I did that video.
That was
Thanks,
when
guys. So,
that's
Tony,
when you were a
crack on.
novice.
Well, actually, I will say at this point, I did have more views than my brother Neil. And it became a bit of a challenge for him to actually beat me on that one. I don't know why, but there you go.
Okay, Tony. Well, tell us what you've been up to, okay?
Right,
And don't forget to thank
I thought
our volunteers.
I get given a script as to what to say about being at the local county councillor, so I don't generally read that. One of the things that we do, which I think we're going to talk about later on, unfortunately, as well as answering emails and trying to solve problems and putting people in the places they're meant to be, is we do attend quite a lot of meetings. And this is one of the problems about the meetings are that we are we cannot make some of the decisions that we do. So today, for instance, is something we will talk about. We went to what we call a HATOC meeting, which is to do with highways. It's something we have to attend, and some of the decisions that are made do affect a lot of people around this country, around Exeter. I think Neil will talk about it later on. One of the unfortunate things is we might vote for something, but the other local councillors do tend to gang up and vote together. So we're generally outvoted. So later on, I think you're going to talk about what we were outvoted on this one and some of the problems.
Yeah, we're gonna discuss it on both sides. So it's not just about, we have to look at why they outvoted us and why we voted. So, we're all working as a family, as a team.
It's hard to believe, though, isn't it? Sometimes?
Well, I'm not going to go down that road. We would discuss it, and then anybody wants to ring in and add
It was
for or
amicable.
against. So it can be for or against because we have to look at both sides, and I try and be quite neutral on it.
Yeah. So what doing, Tony? What's going on at the council?
Well,
Yeah. Is everybody
it
on
would be
holiday?
quite boring if we told you that some of the meetings we do are what we call Teams meetings. So I have to sit there with headphones on because obviously it's chaos in my house, listening to various discussions on anything from buses to subjects that which I will say they train us up on, so that when we do attend these meetings, we're more up to date with it. That's the part that we have to do as county councillors as well. Obviously, I get emails that need to be answered, be it from people concerned because roads haven't been cleaned on the pavements, there's leaves, and they get passed from pillar to post. Or I do have somebody who rings up concerned about leaves and foliage that have gone over the edge of the hedge and has gone and encroached on the pavement. You have to sort out problems like that. Other issues, of course, at the moment are Buddle Lane, the roadworks. Unfortunately, as I keep saying, I have no control over any roadworks or anything like that. A lot of lead replacement pipe work's being done in my area, and I do get a lot of roadwork notices given to me, but I don't pass some of them on because it will only affect certain roads, and most of them are cul-de-sacs at the moment. But Buddle Lane, a lot of people ask, is Oakhampton Road going to be shut as well? As far as I'm aware, no, because I think South West Water are doing a job down there, but they will not clash. But don't quote me on that because, like I said, they give me the plans, which I've put on my website or Facebook, which aren't the clearest of things, but they sort of give you alternative routes and the fact that it's going to last 12 weeks.
Hey, Tony, what is HATOC anyway?
HATOC's the Highways Authority.
Okay.
I could.
And
It's another acronym.
Are you on that committee?
We, both Neil and myself and all county councillors in Exeter are on that. There are HATOCs all around Devon. Depending which area you serve, depends which one you sit on.
Tony, can I just pick up on what you were saying about people complaining about the roads and the pavements? We're just coming up to the time when all the leaves are going to be falling down. I actually got an email from a lady, I won't mention her name, but she's over in Alphington, so it's your area, or yours and Neil's.
But yes.
And she was asking, I mean, you can go on to Alphington site and see, but she was asking about, has anybody got any leaves that they want to dump? Because it's a detritus that you've got to get rid of.
I thought you were going to say dump it on a pavement.
No. So I sent her a message and just said, well, look, contact Exeter. They will be gathering up all the leaves in the parks
it's
like Belmont.
it is actually Exeter's
Yeah.
cleansing department who are responsible for any leaves or mud on pavements. Unlike highways, who are responsible for the pavements and the upkeep of the roads.
Yeah, well, I spoke to one of the guys, one of the operatives at Belmont Park today about it so that I could answer her question. I know I'm not a councillor, but they actually gather the leaves up and then they take them down to the recycling centre where they're composted.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's recycling, isn't it?
So the chances are that anybody who wants compost, I don't know how Exeter sell it, whether they sell it or whether they give it away, but if you're interested in getting leaf mould compost ready for next year, get on to Exeter City Council.
Probably very good for your roses. And
Let's
better than
have an
sticking
applause
horse
for
poo.
Doug. Let's have an applause for Doug for pointing that out.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
Okay,
Tony, before we get on to your brother, okay, thanks for doing a great job, but could you, as usual, give a tribute to our volunteers?
Yeah. A big thank you to all the volunteers. We will be distributing a leaflet coming up, which will go all around our area from Alphington, St Thomas. We have put our heads together and decided we'll do a joint one. It'll give you an update on some of the things we do. If we were to tell you a lot of things we do, it's quite boring. But obviously we're looking into various things as well, which hopefully will come up in the future.
Okay.
I need a reform poster for where
Neil's
where
got
I am.
plenty of pictures of his
Yeah, I
face.
got plenty of pictures.
Well,
He only lost two, Doug. Only lost two. And
Well, they're not
they
gonna
were
get into
seen
my-
running down the street.
Yeah, they're not going to get into my house to get it out. But I need a reform poster because a little birdie told me, well, a big birdie actually. I won't be rude about this, but she is telling me that Labour are panicking so much at the present moment that they're putting a lot more resources into knocking on doors and trying to identify people who will support Labour or support reform.
You can knock on doors. Some people have made their mind up. If you think, if they think knocking on doors will influence people, then if that's what they want to do, I can't answer that one. I always think you've got to go on the way we've performed, or any of the local councillors if they're good. And if you think they're good, it's a free country, vote for them,
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot, guys, for that discussion. And hey, Jess, there's another slide, just a reminder of
not
where
me again, is it?
Tony's constituency is.
Oh,
and,
thank God for that. I thought it was another video of me.
and that I think you've lived here most of your life, right?
Yes, lived in Alphington, but most of my adult life I've lived in St Thomas in one area or another. And my children were born and brought up here as well.
Fantastic. Okay, so Neil's back.
I've kept it quiet. Highway
Yeah.
and Traffic Orders Committee. That's what HATOC stands for, Tony, just to
Okay,
give you that.
yeah.
Oh, did it?
All right, and that was an interesting day. Okay, I'm back. I've tried to keep quiet then because I'm a guy who can actually dominate a conversation, and I know that these two gentlemen have done a good job. But I'm back, and I'm going to dominate the
We've
conversation.
been relegated, Doug,
Yeah,
haven't
we
we?
just,
No, you
We
don't
won't
be
be able to
relegated.
get word in
relegated.
edgeways now that Neil's back.
I've lost the middle seat now.
Okay, so I have a few minutes to tell you what I've done. I had a fantastic holiday with my family. My granddaughter was brilliant. She loves Granddad. Granddad's the favourite. And I actually had to tell her off today because a little bit of discipline at her play group. She just mentioned her name. She didn't want to do something because she was Bonnie, whatever her second name is. And she says, I don't have to do that. So I had to tell her off. And the punishment was, if she's not a good girl tomorrow, she won't stay with Nan and Granddad on Saturday. So she did answer.
She said good.
Okay, being away on holiday, I had done the emails every day, average about 35 emails, and I did stay on top of it until the last 2 days where I relaxed, and then I came back to a mountain of emails. So if I haven't replied to everybody, I'm not going to apologise. I will get to you guys, and I will reply. All right? I've had loads of queries and loads of questions, but we'll just say what I've done this week before I cross-contaminate about what people have asking. Came back Sunday. I had off, and then I went into the committee where we look at appeals for school transport. I'm not legally allowed to go into what we discussed, and I'm not going to, but it is a very good eye opener of how much money is being wasted, not on the children, but how different companies, taxis, and everything like that are exploiting the system. All right, and what I mean by that, the prices is eye-watering what we're giving these companies to pick up our children to take them from A to B and back. All right, and it's eye-watering. And like I said before, 22 million or 22 and a half to 52.7 million, and we're going to have overspend. It's eye-watering.
This is where, remember, we made that promise. We will see what waste there is and if it can be
Right.
tackled.
Okay,
Give
we'll
us
come
an
back
example,
to
Neil,
that.
if,
I've only got a few minutes to tell you what else I've done. Have very good news today, which will go on to my Facebook page. They've just, remember I put in some motions. The first motion got pushed through was to do with food waste. they've generated a letter to 2 MPs, which is then going to be taken to Parliament. So my first motion passed. It's up to the next stage, and that's a good win-win so far for us. There's 3 more motions which we'll cover on later on during this show what we're doing. Couple of good results. I don't normally mention names, but I'm going to mention Exeter City Council, a lady called Pat Chambers. Her work is outstanding. Cat Chambers, sorry.
And
Cat. Yeah, and there's never late. She helped a lady called Pat. Cat Chambers, if you're looking at this, thank you for your support.
I've got to admit, she is absolutely fantastic.
I don't mention names normally,
Is
but
she one of the officers?
she's in charge.
director,
and,
yeah.
she's absolutely fantastic.
I'll give you an example. We've
She's
had
got a hard job.
We've had a dispute over a large hedge. The gentleman used to cut one side, but the gentleman is very poorly now. The wife didn't want her to cut the other side of the hedge. Between myself, Devon County Council, we found out who was in charge of the other side, and once again, it was cut by Exeter City Council. Thank you for sending the picture in, Pat. It was really good to see the relief that your husband hasn't got to do anymore. So once again, thank you, Kat, for doing that. Today, we did the Hattock meeting. That was this thing we're going to discuss later on. But behind the scenes, a lot of things going on. Today, I just got back a bit later. I met Lisa. Thank you, Lisa, for your problems you gave me and the frustrations that the police aren't listening, the local bobbies aren't listening. You've been brushed off. I will look at it. I will come back with answers once I've done my research.
Where is this, Neil?
This is in Alphington. Okay. Don't get much from Carrick area, guys. If you're living in Carrick, you know, I'm your councillor. Mm-hmm. I want to hear from you. Mm. All right. And if I don't hear from you, I presume there's no issues. Mm. You know, if there is issues,
maybe they just don't like you now.
Yeah, maybe they don't like me. But what I will say is, like Tony said, we've just near enough on the last phase of our leaflet drop. We've designed it. It will just update you of what we're doing, the motions we put forward. We've done it as a joint exercise for a minute to see how that works. But I will get that, and Tony will get that delivered to as many houses as possible, because not everybody's on the internet. Not everybody reads the papers and all that. So that's where we're at that. And we will drop 4 a year. Okay? That'll be one every 3 months.
Fantastic. Thank you, Neil.
Rob, before we move on, can I just say about Neil's work there? First of all, he's done something absolutely fantastic. He's mentioned the council officers. People will moan and groan, but they very rarely say thank you. Mm-hmm. So if you've had a good experience with the officers, then you should do so. And if you want to phone them, do it yourself or phone Neil and tell him. Mm-hmm. The second one is the police. Well, sometimes, we can be on the wrong side of the law. Mm-hmm. Other times, they are absolutely outstanding. And I've got to give a big call out for Exeter Police at the present moment.
Yeah,
they're under a lot of strain at the moment. So,
well, I have different views. Not with Exeter Police.
Obviously, they've got enough time to ring me up. But I mean,
that's another story.
Okay, so let's move on a little bit. But before we do that, Jess, could you flash up the slide that kind of just reminds people of where Neil's constituency is? And
I've never noticed a big yellow smiley face above Neil's area.
Yeah, it's a big balloon. It's Neil's
my
face above
Where's your head
Alphington
after Turkey?
But how long have you lived here, Neil? Just before we move on.
Well, I actually was born, I think everybody knows this, in Myrtle Close in Alphington. That's where my original place, and then we moved to Queen's Road with my father and my family, and we've lived here all my life. I have been away a lot during my military service, but my actual roots are here. And I actually only live just across the road from my mummy.
No, you're not supposed to say that, in the secret bunkers.
Oh, yes, so we're in the secret bunker across the road from my mummy. They all say I'm a mother's boy, a mummy, but I'm not, okay?
Okay, thanks very much, guys, for that conversation. It's really super.
Giving away our
position,
so
we're gonna move on next to discuss and share with you some of the local issues, some of the local news topics, and some of the national topics that affect you. And before I start on that, we got a great thing going. Hopefully there'll be a little peace in the Middle East, at least one portion of the Middle East. So look forward to further developments on that.
Absolutely fantastic result.
Yeah,
but the result when the hostages get released and the Palestinian prisoners
it's sad
get released.
though, the fact that
so it's both sides. When they both all get released, then
that's
that's a good result.
Yeah. Now, first thing, thought we should mention is that again, a lot of the things we're going to discuss with you, we're not going to discuss things that you know. We're going to discuss some of the things you don't know. And one of the interesting things is that the Labour Party is still a bit suffering, really, and they should, because some of the policies are not really working out to your benefit. But you're having a bit of problem trying to get candidates for the upcoming May election, Neil. Mincing Anthony Payne's
they've been
ward.
working hard in Alphington and Carrick area. I know they've got a lady coming around. I think she works away, lives out of Exeter from Monday to Thursday. Correct me if I'm wrong, and then she comes back and does her photo shoots.
Well, let's
Friday,
flash
Saturday,
that up,
Sunday.
Jess. Unless you already did that. Yes, that's our team from Reform. Okay, and then this is Lucy, who's now been parachuted in from Sidwell. She ran in DCC Sidwell division last year.
Didn't get anywhere.
Didn't make that.
Thank you, Douglas.
So she pushed
Maybe
out
she's got a better chance against
poor
you.
Bob Fole, who was who's coming up for a re-election next year. She pushed him out. I guess she must.
I think it's
know
worth
some
noting
friends.
as well, Labour seem to be parachuting people in. First is Steve Race, who suddenly appears out of nowhere. He's a London man, worked for Ben Bradshaw, who I might add was a very good MP.
Oh, yeah.
No arguments. Ben
Okay,
Bradshaw,
no,
fantastic.
Yeah, we all agree.
Can we say, come back, Ben Bradshaw?
Yeah. Come back, Ben, anytime. Absolutely brilliant. But also this lady, Lucy, I've no idea anything about her, but you're quite right. She gets parachuted in. That is not what we want in Exeter. We need local people.
Local people who know the local issues.
Yeah. So I think really it doesn't really matter if they have a candidate or not, or whoever they run. It's just we're not tired of winning. We're running on the issues, and Neil and Tony lived here all their lives. And
just remember, it's not about us. We do, and I think we'll say it again later on. We are looking for local candidates ourselves, and the word is local.
Exactly.
We've never done it before.
Just let's flash up the parking and have Neil talk about that a little bit. The parking slide.
Oh, it's not that ambulance, is it?
No, no. Okay. One of my biggest issues and my biggest lot of emails from my constituencies is parking issues. One of the things I went out to speak to tonight was about parking issues. There's another lady who's got parking issues, and if I bracket up, I get about 20 emails a week regarding parking. I use the word illegal. As far as I'm concerned, if you park on a pavement, it's illegal. If you're blocking or obstructing a wheelchair, a push bike, a pedestrian, it shouldn't happen, right? But I have put a motion forward, and we'll come back to the motion in a minute. So the first thing I want to say to people is, let's use our heads. If you're on the pavement and it's a vehicle, you shouldn't be on the pavement. Okay? Get off the pavement. Think about the neighbours. If there's double lines there, right? This is my issue today with Devon County Council. A lot of my constituency are ringing up. The vehicle is there. 4 to 5 days later, the enforcement officer comes along. The lady today I met, she asked the two officers, they were very polite, could you give me a contact number where I can contact you directly? And they said they couldn't. So we've got an issue here. We've got people breaking the law, in my eyes. We've got Devon County Council. They're quite happy to put yellow cameras up with the government, all right? And they want extra money. If you walk around the city centre, there's more traffic wardens than ever because that's easy money in my eyes. So why aren't you keeping the people in the other areas happy, all right? By going out at whatever time. I know they walk around on Sundays uptown and all that, but my advice for Devon County Council enforcement officers, we need to either relook at it. If somebody rings up, get down there, right, and stop it. After you've hit a few cars and they realise what's going on, I think it would stop. To that end, one of the motions I put forward, and I have to say this, Devon County Council like to bump their gums on the last large meeting, all right, and that's another motion to stop bumping their gums, but that's another
does that mean,
story.
bump?
I'm working on.
They like the sound of their own voice.
I'm working on that motion is how we can
We just got to
restructure-
word it right.
how
In
we
fact,
restructure the meetings. But the motion is to accept people's photography or camera shots, which if you use one of these, it's got a digital
Clearly shows
date,
the
a
registration.
digital location and all that. All right. Traffic wardens use it. They haven't got super duper phones, I can tell you that. All right. But when people, I'm not asking to be squealers. Yeah. What do they call snitches get stitches?
Stitches,
All right.
yeah.
but we need a deterrent, and there's no deterrent. And, you know, I call it antisocial behaviour. I don't know what else you call it.
No, you're quite right. And if you go onto TikTok or Facebook or whatever, very often what you get is cyclists with head cams, and they report people using their phones. Now, you might say, as you say, they're snitches. No, it's not. They could quite easily be killing somebody. Then you get the other ones where motorists have got in-car dash cams, and the police actively ask you to download anything that you think is dangerous. They will assess it. They will make the decision.
Okay, so this is where we're trying to get the law clarified, or whether we can do it, right? Because somebody will get killed one day, all right? And I don't want anybody killed, and a bicycle going on the pavement. And we just don't want it.
Thanks very much, Neil.
Okay.
Hey, Jess, let's flash up the next slide. There's an energy center that's planned, and they've already started laying some of the pipes.
Yes.
The trouble is that they didn't do a proper consultation with the Riverside Park, so they have to reopen that, right, Neil?
Well, they did a consultation, but I think the actual feedback was 0.06 from the public. All right,
I've had 2 people replied.
I've wrote to the ombudsman. They told me to write to the council, so I've wrote to the council. They've sent me a lot of data back. I'm in the process with the team analysing that data, okay, and I still think there's a flaw. The flaw is, okay, they were digging the pipeworks in before they had planning permission. Yeah. So to me, in 2023, May, I think there was £5 million paid over on some to Exeter Energy. In July, another 5 million. So they already knew they had planning permission. Well, why have planning if you already know you got it? And the energy is not being proven, by the way. And this is happening all over the country. This company is owned by 16 or 18 people.
I don't think
18 people. They're getting grants, a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, and it's not proven. And if somebody wants to correct me, you're only going to have 4 people actually working that unit. So when they said it's going to bring employment, building it will do, but that won't be local builders.
They bring teams in from outside.
Yeah, of course it will be.
And they move them around the country.
Right, so this green washing is going to make people rich, but it ain't going to make you rich. I can tell you, it's going to make you a lot of money.
Even before it starts, remember, we did get told that 3 or 4 mature trees have to be chopped down.
Yeah, well, I offer this to anybody.
Bring in the equipment.
Anybody comes in on this show to present their case regarding how this energy system will actually benefit
Exeter. It's going to
Exeter.
benefit the university,
the cathedral. So all the radiators have got to be changed.
Yeah, it won't benefit any of us.
All the pipework's got to be changed. The radiators in the hospital's got to be changed, and they'll be tied up to the thing. It's one of my pet hates. You already know that, guys.
Yeah, that and the green ambulance.
Thanks very much on the conversation.
And the green ambulance.
How about the next slide there, Jess? If we can get that on screen here. Just want to mention, every week I think there's a protest at the Hampton Inn. And now, interesting thing that the people that are out there that are protesting against the illegal immigrants taking over the hotel are wearing British flags, and they're peaceful. Now, that is different from, because I've been out there, those other protesters who have a megaphone and they have a trumpet.
The Antifa.
And actually, it's promoted by a bunch of different, what I call fringe elements, but apparently not fringe, one of which is the Exeter Socialist Workers' Party.
No, I didn't know that.
You can identify the SWP, the Socialist Workers' Party.
What we do know, of course,
when they turn up at meetings, like the Palestinian whatever meetings, they very often identify themselves with a small red band round their arm, so you will know that they're socialist.
Like a secret code, is it?
Absolutely. And
like
they're
our
thugs.
secret handshake.
They're thugs.
Yeah.
I'm not going to beat any bones about that one.
If you go on their Facebook page, you love Facebook, Doug, of course.
Yeah.
They say that illegals are refugees. They don't. I guess they're classifying everybody as a refugee.
Word,
yeah. And they say that you're racist if you deny that they're if you deny illegals from.
I think it's fair to say that the Socialist Workers' Party don't give a damn where people come from. They've got no interest in what happens in this country, other than they want to disrupt government.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's a Labour government, a Liberal, heaven forbid, a Liberal Democrat.
They just need a cause, don't they,
or Conservative.
protest against.
Basically, they want to break down the system, and then they hope that they will take over. I actually have a very good
I think
friend.
Labour's doing a good job of being a socialist anyway.
Yeah.
Personally.
No, do you know one of my friends says that Labour are too right wing,
Oh, right.
and he's one of my friends.
Right.
Used to be a helicopter
So let's
pilot.
go. Our Exeter and our Plymouth is nothing to do with reform. You know, they're there to protest, not about the people in the hotel. They're protesting to the government.
You have a right to
Right.
protest.
So that's right.
Yeah.
And I think, did you mention about phone calls about they rung you? Or
I did mention it last week. I had a phone call from the police,
The Bobby.
the Bobby.
Yeah.
You know, just
Friendly.
to show you that they do monitor our posts,
Yeah.
which is very nice of
I'm
them.
quite privileged actually.
Yeah, but well, we've had a few, you know, but you know, sort of saying, are we sort of encouraging protest at Hampton?
I think there was an individual who actually posted what.
Well, somebody posted a snippet of something that you could take out of context. But the fact is, you know, we've never sort of promoted it. But what we do is talk about it, and we do actually cover both sides of the story. So, as we said,
To the best of my knowledge, we've never asked anybody from Reform to go out and protest at this particular hotel.
well,
have we?
why? You know, why would
No,
we want
I'm
to?
saying we've never actually asked them. People can go as individuals. That's
Yeah,
entirely
I mean,
up
if
to them.
I was going to protest, I certainly wouldn't
Yeah.
go out as a Reform County
Can I
councillor.
just mention about that? But I've not actually been there. But some of the imagery I've seen, wearing a shemag, because I used to wear a shemag when I was away, not to
call them
intimidate,
kefairs.
to keep the sun off
Kefairs.
me. Yeah, but wearing a shemag and disguising your face and wearing goggles and it's quite intimidating.
Yeah.
Well, it might just be
Yeah.
ugly.
I,
you know.
you know,
Yeah. Well, they are.
But does the other side wear some form of mask, or is
No,
it
they
just
don't. No, everybody is out there, you know, sitting down in their lawn chairs or, you know.
Right, so I've never
yeah.
actually been to
Yeah.
a protest, except I did go and see the farmers one outside Exeter City
That's
Council.
right, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very
in March,
interesting.
I
I've never
think it
been
was.
to a protest before,
Yeah.
and I've never really seen a protest, so I'm quite
Yeah.
naive actually.
Well, these are pretty in your face. I mean, I think one of the biggest telling things for me is that the Labour Party doesn't distance themselves from
They
Marxists.
don't actually comment
You know,
on it themselves.
it's
do
shocking,
they?
isn't
the
it?
local
But
council.
I don't think there's any arrests either side, is there?
I don't think so. No.
Right. So
I-
at least, and I
I'm-
say that
I'm
to whichever
stand to
party,
be
Can I,
whichever
can I
side,
also
well done.
say at this point,
It's-
don't go ringing me up again. We're not saying to go out to protest.
Yeah.
You know, one phone call is enough. I
It
think.
was just information gathering. Okay, so let's move on to some any other local news. There's a lot of local.
Well, did
news,
you
but-
want to talk about the homeless situation?
Yeah, that's just been brought in. Actually, there was an article. In fact, I think Douglas, thank you. You
Yeah, I
actually
sent it on, yeah.
So we're talking about the homeless in not just Exeter, in the whole of the country. I think there was 1,000. How many died last year?
I forget the numbers for there.
About
I was only interested-
1,600
I was only
homeless
interested in
died in the whole of the
Exeter.
country. How many in Exeter?
Last year, or the year before, sorry, 8 died. This last year, to current dates that we know of, 21.
Yeah, I was talking about this earlier though, and sometimes you can say maybe they would have passed away anyway.
Yeah, quite possibly.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Yeah. And I think, Tony, it was you who said
Well,
that
I
you
said
thought,
all credit to
Labour
Ex-
were doing extremely
Yeah.
well.
I will say that,
yeah.
you know, I can't say Labour
No,
because
oh,
I
sorry.
don't know. Exeter City Council themselves
The
really
officers.
do,
The
officers
officers.
themselves
Yeah,
really do a
sorry.
really good job
Yeah,
looking after, monitoring,
yeah.
and trying to put up as many as the homeless as possible.
They used to have a number of pods down just, what's the name of the car park just below the prison? So that if a homeless person couldn't get into, say, somewhere like Gabriel House or whatever for
Yeah.
overnight, they would give them a key
I mean,
and they'd go down there.
nobody should be sleeping on the streets.
No, quite agree.
At this time.
Quite agree. Quite agree.
You know, at this
Okay,
era.
so on that, and I might be wrong. Some people choose to sleep on the street. I might be wrong
They
with
do.
that. Okay.
They do.
All right, so we can't help everybody, but I wouldn't see anybody. I wouldn't want anybody to die on the street. And why are we discussing this? We can house people coming in from different countries. We can put them into hotels, and in theory, why aren't we looking after these people
Yeah.
on the street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's. Should we get on to national news? Because we're running a little bit behind here. Okay, so first one is the just some further developments to the murder of the two Jewish men that were trying to guard the synagogue last week. Turns out that the murderer's name was Jihad, and his father is father actually supported. Their Facebook pages.
Sorry,
posts,
Rob,
right?
I'm going to have to correct you slightly on that one. The two chaps who died in the synagogue, it was a result of collateral damage from the police, either straight rounds going through the door or
Really?
fragments of. But that's not the fault of the police. They were doing exactly their job because the chap had what was purportedly
Assumed to be a bomb.
suicide
Yeah.
bomb. So they had to take him out straight away. And Neil will tell you this, serving in Northern Ireland or Afghanistan, you haven't got the time to think. You've got to act. And that's what the police did.
Yeah.
And they've done a fantastic job.
Yeah, and I think one of the my big takeaway on this whole thing is that it took hundreds of years for this country to get the great culture, that it has, and that's why a lot of people want to flock to this country. Now, do you want to flock to Syria, Doug? Do you want to flock to Iran and Afghanistan and not have your wife or
I'll
your
go,
friend,
go one better than that,
go
Rob.
to school?
There's not one of those countries, not one Muslim country will accept the Gazan refugees. I mean, they
Yes,
like to call
yeah.
themselves Palestinians, but it was Yasser Arafat who termed Palestinians. So
Yeah. So we have, in other words, we have those, a lot of those cultures coming into our country, and we've got to be careful about how they assimilate, basically, right? Okay, so the next one is we've got the Chinese are jumping on the bandwagon with the super dinghies.
Well,
Yeah.
I
Making a
mean,
big
if it
profit.
carries on, you'll just be walking in one end and walking off the other because they're getting bigger and bigger.
Huge,
Yeah.
aren't they? Yeah.
And they're selling them on eBay probably, right? But what I'm wondering, what is our MP saying about this? He just comes in for a
Well,
photo
I think
shoot,
he
right,
just
Doug?
agrees with whatever he's told to say.
But he doesn't say
If
anything.
anybody looks at the voting
Maybe it's
record
not a
of
photo
Steve Race
opportunity.
in Parliament,
Yeah.
basically he just votes the way that Starmer tells him to
Well,
vote.
So
exactly.
basically, what the
He's
whip
a yes
tells him,
man.
Yeah.
what whip tells him, he's a lapdog,
Yeah.
and he
Yeah.
just.
Well,
does
he
what he's
doesn't come down here, so he wouldn't know our
Well,
opinion
we
anyway.
had a term in the military, didn't we, Neil? They're called brown noses.
Yeah.
There's a good reason for that.
Best not explain that one.
Okay, the next one, Jess, slide about dentistry. Neil, you maybe speak that a bit. But,
Yeah, okay. So we've already know that individuals are picked up by taxi and taken to the Nightingale. The taxi stays there for the time, 3 hours, gets paid. We know that they have TURPs, which charge about 170 quid per half an hour, and we know they get a full medical. What I found out this week is this is one dentist, and if anybody wants to dispute me, then I'm happy to stand there, that over Exeter, refugees has been distributed all around the dentistry system. The dentist I go to, which I'm not going to mention, has handled 30 refugees. They all state they're 16 years old, when you can see they're not 16 years old. I did ask the question that you can tell the age by the teeth. And the person said, no,
That and
that's
they've probably
not
got a
correct.
2 foot long
It's
beard.
not correct between a certain age. So from 16 to 24, the gaps, wear and tear, you can't really tell. But just looking at the individual, okay, you can tell that they're not 16.
A bit like looking at a sheep or a horse.
Yeah, but the person knows that they
Well, I'm
chuck all their
25.
documents in the sea.
Maybe I should try
right?
that and
Yeah,
say
but
I'm
get this,
16.
get this. They're not getting NHS service. They're getting private service up to
Well, they're getting premium service.
two
aren't
to
they?
three grand per person.
God.
Christ,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't even get an NHS appointment.
yeah.
I
Right,
can't
it
even get
takes
a
me-
dentist.
Takes me 1 year. So what is the law? They can get free medical,
Yeah.
free
And
dentistry.
apparently,
I think what the
But we-
government should be doing as well is being very
yeah,
open
but
about
it's not
what
just.
you
It's
can
not. We
get.
can't just blame the Labour government. This was a Conservative government as well.
Okay,
They
guys.
should, the government, whoever it is,
I'm getting
Gotta-
excited.
gotta-
should be more
We gotta
open
watch the
about
time.
what
We
they
gotta
do
move on,
get.
guys.
Time, Tony, because we get carried away.
There's a lot to get
That's
to
for
here.
another day.
I want to
that
hear.
one.
I just want to say the reason we bring it up is it is local issues. All right. Normally say I don't jump out the box, but it is local issues and it is your money.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, just a shout out to David Armstrong. David, thanks for your comment. Neil, just it goes back to something I think you mentioned about maybe the Energy Center. He says, as a utility worker, to work on the highways, you have to have a permit, which has to be applied for weeks and even months, depending on where the work is. So, yes, I agree. lot of
It's
this
a road
work's
traffic
been.
order, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got
Yeah.
all the orders. So Devon County Council, I requested the orders. They've sent them all to me. It's all happened way before they had planning permission.
Yeah.
It's already set in stone. So you,
So they
me,
knew it
as
was
small
gonna
individuals, we're just small people, little fish in a big pond.
Okay, so let's flash up the next one. Neil, you wanted to just talk about digital ID a little bit here. That's a
Right,
national
same
news
again.
topic.
Everybody's heard about digital ID. Now, it is national. All right, why does it affect us? It affects every one of us. Okay, I didn't have time, but we've got a passport. A majority of people have got passports. Majority of people have got driving license. We've all got national insurance numbers.
We've all got bank accounts.
We've all got
most. Of
no,
us.
not necessarily bank cap. We've
well,
all
it's going
got
to stop
NHS.
the boats, isn't it?
Sorry,
It's going to stop the boats, isn't it?
I might as well just
I mean-
throw mine all in the sea. Okay,
Get another one.
But let's be realistic. It's a tracking system. It's digital ID is to control you even more. All right, we've already got control, guys. They want even more control.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Just before the last election, Labour did not want people to have ID so that they could vote. And then suddenly it's all turnabout.
Well, yeah,
because-
they're on about doing 16-year-old votes now.
Well, that's
Right,
good,
but
isn't it?
it's a control feature. 3 million people over have put in a petition. What did Labour do? They went and talked about it. We're not interested.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, Labour, this will bite you in the.
Okay, I think we better move on, Neil. You're getting a
Yeah,
bit
no,
steamed
because
up.
we
Well,
are.
it's-
This
okay.
is a socialist government.
Yeah.
Labour, Exeter.
Okay.
Today was. I just
Sir?
think. Okay.
Neil,
sorry.
Neil,
Have a
it-
time
is it-
out.
is
That
it-
one also is for another day.
Is
Yeah.
it worth mentioning that Tony Blair's son is one of the guys who owns the company? Tony Blair has a £345,000 investment
I didn't
in
know
that
that.
company.
I don't know that, so I
Okay,
can't
Jess,
answer.
let's,
Can't comment.
So I
Allegedly.
get carried away. You can see I've
Allegedly.
missed this.
Well, that's
Last-
it. Another
sorry, Tony.
occasion,
Last week,
another
Tony.
subject.
Last week, Tony will remember.
Need a little gavel, Rob.
Yeah, thanks. Last week we just briefly mentioned about the housing situation, and I flashed up a slide, Doug, where just in 2 weeks, Neil, 2,500 people came across the English Channel just in 2 weeks, and coincidentally, that jibes with the amount of houses that are being built in Alphington. So, and another interesting statistic is we need, in order to keep pace, we need 6 cities built every year the size of Exeter. That's how many people are coming into this country.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
this is where one of the
a big
can
problem.
Can I say that for a sec? That I've actually written off to try and find out what the percentage is in our area of allocations to, I'm going to say refugees, for housing and HMO places. I have actually written off. I did get a reply to say we will correspond with you. I don't think I'm going to get an answer because by rights they don't have to tell us. Operation Scatter, they're just moving them in, and that's it.
Yeah,
thanks.
it's interesting how Labour and Conservatives are actually using some of our ideas now.
Yeah.
So Labour's jumping on the bandwagon with some of their ideas. Conservatives have come out. They've had 14 years to sort this problem out.
Guys, I'm going to have to do a timeout with you guys. Okay?
No,
let's-
yeah, but you say a
let's-
timeout. Can anybody see? Or is it just me that we have a problem in this country? We
I
have
want
a
to hear about the
housing problem,
LGR.
Doctors' problems,
Okay.
dentist
All right,
problems.
LGR now.
Okay,
That's
LGR.
for another occasion
Okay.
as
That's
well.
another control thing.
Just flash up that doggone slide here so we can
That's
move
for
on.
another
Okay?
occasion.
And then Doug, you're next. Okay.
Sorry.
No,
Okay.
and
Neil's
Anyway,
back, everybody.
Happy
What
to
is
let Neil
Tony?
come
What is Doug? You tell me. What does LGR stand for? Okay.
well, we're saying
You're a
local
brainiac.
government reorganisation.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You go right back to 2016, 17 or something, they started to do it, and then it sort of went quiet, and now it's the big thing.
Why are they doing that?
Well,
They think they'll save money.
Yeah.
And also, I think the government will have
Right,
more
hang
control.
on. It's not been proven that either or either works. Okay, I've done my research and I'm actually doing my research as we speak.
Busy.
Because I got some big meetings up in Exeter City Council next week.
Well, didn't the head of the Exeter City Council say he was kind of dubious about
No,
whether
we
it,
can't. We don't know
or
that,
what?
and we're not
Yeah?
going to go down that road. But
Okay.
LGR, I'm going to.
I was just asking a question.
Yeah. Okay, this is my view. They say it's going to save money, right? I'll tell you, the independent councillors, your job's not going to be there, all right? Because LGR, the government will have more control. More control means they'll have more councillors under their remit, local or independent people, you might as well get it. All right, when they have more control, this is going down the socialist route. So look at it. We've got the ID. We've got LGR. Okay. Yeah, I agree. We should look at the structure of Devon County Council and how they waste money and how
if it
Exeter City
involves
wastes
saving
money. All right. You know, Reform want to go in and proving in some of other councils they are saving money. They are actually saving money. Am I wrong?
No. For the fans of George Orwell, 1984 has arrived. Snowflake rules. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look up the book.
From my experience with Reform, we make a mistake. The BBC, they pick up on it. Big story. But what they don't do is highlight where they haven't made a mistake and where they have cut the waste. But they do sort of pick up on any little story, as they did with you, I believe, Neil.
But yeah, we'll come back to that.
That's for another day.
What I'm going to say, and prove me wrong, the government are taking more control over your everyday life. Yeah. And when this rubbish comes out, if you don't have an ID card, you're not going to work. Well, if nobody wants to work, they ain't going to get some money in, are they? And all they're after is your money, your control. Even these yellow cameras are going up all over the country. You know about that?
Yeah.
It's a spying system.
Yeah.
Well, when they get the digital ID, Doug, I expect you to show your.
Well, I'm not getting digital ID.
If you want to be on the dream team, you got to show me your digital
ID. I'm not.
ID.
I am not having an ID, and you know, I don't care. I ain't going to starve. Yeah. You know, I can tell you that I know how to survive.
Neil will be out there,
I think the way it's going,
hunting the streets.
Get done with poaching.
If there's any cats missing.
But seriously, why do you say they're taking control? Aren't they just amalgam? Aren't they just because right now we have, you know, in the Exeter City Council in this area we have 3 Exeter City councillors in the St. Thomas ward. Let's just use
but you 3. Why do we have 3?
Well,
3, and then we have Tony.
Here. Go on then.
Well, no,
we have Tony,
I would
the
say
Devon
it's
County
nice
councillor.
to have 3 because it takes the pressure if you've only got 1, and if you've got people, you know, sort of with queries all the time, it's nice to spread it around.
Yeah, but I think the queries are, you know,
but people don't know who to talk to. Right?
I think most of the queries are duplicated, so they come to me or they get brushed off to me. Yeah. But overall, I think I could, you know, this is a bold statement now. I don't think we definitely don't need Labour councillors, all right? And I'm after you, and I want to get rid of you. After today, you know, we have no say. As the second biggest party in Devon County Council, we have no say because everybody works together, right? Labour, they all gang together with all these, you know, Greens and all that, all right? But your time's short, guys.
Your time's running out, essentially.
Your time's running out, and trust me, I'm going to invest as much money as I can.
Well, why are you so vehement about it? What bothers you about it?
It's hard to make change when the people who've implemented the original sort of things all stick together.
Not yet. We can't.
You come up with a suggestion, and all you'll get is, "Well, we do not like reform. We'll all gang together and we'll vote against you."
Oh, yeah, it's a political system and everybody reads it. They all think we're racist.
And you can see it with the government.
No, but they all call us racist. Even we were called in Devon County Council racist. You know, Labour, I mean...
Well, if we were to say that...
The Prime Minister, to me, should have stood down, you know, when he called us all racist. And by the way, guys, we need a general election.
I think we're going down a rabbit hole.
But we need a general election.
Another day as well.
I want to have the temperature drop a little bit and hear from Doug about about what's going on in the center city here. Jess, can you flash that slide up for us, please?
Yeah, I'm going to truncate mine because obviously time is running out. And as I was explaining to the guys just before we actually went on air, was the fact that when I tried to gather information, that I was being passed from pillar to post. And one of the one of the terms that the guy said to me is he said, "Oh, you'll have to send in a Freedom of Information Act request for that." All I wanted to know was the number of people who are on the housing list for Exeter.
It used to be you just call up somebody and give the
I mean,
answer.
what's so secret about that, for God's sake?
They
just did not want to tell me.
Yeah.
So by the time I actually do the presentation on housing in future, and that includes students, homeless, community infrastructure levy, everything else, I will have all the facts together. I will bombard them with Freedom of Information.
Isn't the problem with building student flats is they don't pay any council
Well,
tax.
Yeah, no,
this
it's
is a touchy subject.
Yeah, but you know what's going to happen next? Student flats will go.
The way
'cause
I
there's so
look at
many
it-
buildings, and most of them owned by the Chinese anyway. They're going to be refugees putting them there.
Well, there's a number of issues, and I'll finish on this one with student accommodation. One of the advantages of developers going for student accommodation is they do not have to pay what's called the community infrastructure levy, which is money that goes to basically help run the country, the county, or whatever. So then they build all these houses. Now, there may be a need for them. There may not be. I don't really know because we don't have those figures.
Well,
to
apparently
hand
there's
yet.
25,000 students in
Yeah,
Exeter.
and it's growing and it's fabulous. I think students
And
are great.
this is my problem. The fact
Well,
that
talking about
they
that,
don't pay
But to
council
go back
tax.
to the CIL is, for instance, you went past Clifton Hill Sports Centre today,
Yep.
and they've got permission to build an elderly person's there. And I said on Facebook, pound to a penny, that will get built, and who will accommodate? Who will be used to accommodate them in there? It's going to be illegal immigrants. Exeter City Council will take it over, pay all the money, and then they'll say, well, sometime in the future, we'll hand it back and you can put old people in there.
Well,
Remember, it's
very
not Exeter
quickly-
City; it's the subsidiary from the government. who
Very,
actually
very quickly, and this is
do
off the
that side.
subject. In the future, a whistleblower has got hold of me regarding some of these buildings that's been built for the student accommodation.
Yeah.
And some of the and I've got photographic evidence. I've got a lot of evidence saying that some of the cladding, okay, because they measured it vertical, diameter and height
Yeah.
was wrong. Okay, so they just went ahead with it, but they took the cladding out. That's all I'm going to say on that right now. But a gentleman has sent me a lot of details.
Fireproofing.
But I
Yeah.
don't want to open a can of worms.
Yeah. No, on high rises, as you'll know that, Doug, but fireproofing is always a
Well,
big
I've got a
problem.
lot of evidence
Yeah.
question on that.
firewalls and
On another podcast, we'll have all the details. Yeah.
I
Be
might
much
not
more
bring that in the
interesting.
public domain because people will lose their jobs. I'm not here to lose jobs. I just want to put it in that position where they have to correct it.
yeah. But I mean, do we need a 10-story building? Right down.
The rate we're carrying on, you need a 20-story.
You know that what is it called? Clarendon House.
Clarendon House, it
Yeah.
used to be the job centre.
Used to
That's
be a
right on
three-story
the
building.
roundabout.
Yeah, it's gonna be 10.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, as you're quite
It's
right.
gonna be a 10-story, is it?
10 stories. I mean, fortunately, there aren't people living too close either side. It's nearly all offices and whatever.
Is that going to go with the 10-story building that's going to be next to
Don't say
John
Clifton
Lewis? No, John Lewis.
I've
They
no
could
idea.
sort of wave
oh,
at
yes,
each
you're
other.
right. The old pub site.
Wave at each other,
That's
say,
right,
look,
yeah,
and
yeah,
why don't they
yeah,
just build a 21 and make it even bigger?
Yeah. No, the big question is, I mean, we do actually appreciate the fact that Exeter is a major educational resource. Its university is highly thought of. The students are absolutely brilliant. I don't know who the hell
Yeah, but
complains
are the
about them.
students getting
Hang
more?
on,
Is there-
hang on,
is there
hang
more
on.
number?
No. All I'm saying is they're an economic power force. They come in and they spend their money. What we need to do is to know that every time a developer puts in for planning application for more student accommodation, do we need it?
Well,
And the
well,
question
no.
is, once we know how many people who don't have homes, developers are not always paying the money that it should be. Look at the Water Street, I think it is, development. No social housing. Are they going to pay some money instead of?
I mean, they
I don't
were
know.
going to,
No,
but
no,
I
but
think
then
they
you
said it's
could
too
say-
expensive now.
And I don't know this, somebody could answer this. Is university getting bigger? Is the pupils or
Yeah, we'll have to do some research on that.
are they getting more? Because I could understand expanding if it's
Yeah,
getting
that's a-
larger.
that's a
Rob,
big
Rob,
building.
I'll add that in on my social
Yeah,
housing.
thanks
Yeah.
very much. Okay, guys. Hey, that was a good discussion. I think we're on to Weed of the Week. Neil, since you've been off, why don't you announce that?
Have we got the picture which was
yeah,
sent in?
the man, there's a man,
Okay, so this was
Robert
actually
Jeffries.
blocking the way, and you can see the lamppost. You can see the tree near enough. The gentleman did remove it. I did say I'm going to go down and help him clear this area up. But the name is Robert Jeffries. Well done.
Thank you, Robert.
He didn't want to put his picture up,
Too embarrassed.
but
Shouldn't
well done.
Call him
And,
by his name, even.
and the wheelchairs can go down that path. So well done.
Yeah, well done, Rob.
And the good thing is, it wasn't an alleyway either, was it?
No, this was a main pavement, by
Main
the way.
pavement.
Main
Yeah.
pavement.
And,
But same again. Sorry, I know with time is one of my motions, which should come out in November, the next meeting, is to find the money to give to Exeter City Council, Because not ex-city council folk by the gateway.
Yeah.
It's the money being stopped.
Exactly.
Right, and we need to get a motion in to get them money back
Thanks
to
very
clear
much.
these weeds.
The money must be there somewhere.
Well, they can find the money for the
Well,
the
for a cycle
triangle
route,
for
I
the
was
bus
going to say.
route. Was that-
Yeah.
They
So
can find
just-
$500,000 for a cycle route.
we can't-
Careful. I only have an electric bike. I don't even have a car anymore.
Oh my goodness gracious.
You're the
How
problem.
embarrassing. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I agree. We should have cycle routes, and I totally support
Yeah.
that.
But
there is a
and
limit.
I'm going to invite Jamie on soon. That'd be a very interesting extra cyclist. He's
I
in
better sit
charge.
over that side then.
That'd be an interesting conversation.
Well, I think with the weeds, you're going to have a problem with that because the Green Party says we love biodiversity.
Love
you know?
weeds.
Yeah. And weeds are good for the bees.
They are. But they've got to be in
Don't
the right
forget that.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's-
Belmont Park is
Not when they're
absolutely-
outside my house.
Belmont Park is absolutely full of dandelions at the right time of year. Beautiful,
boy.
fantastic with the bees and other
Yeah,
insects.
yeah, but
we
obstacles
don't
as
need
well.
them on our roads or our
Yeah.
pavements.
Yeah.
Well, let's
Obstacles.
thank Robert Jeffries. Jess, can you give us applause? Thanks very
good
much.
old
Well, I thought we lost the applause.
No.
We're going to have to find something else.
So
People are saying they don't want
we've
all
got
the
a
applause.
nice slide here, which shows that we're busting through, and
Yeah.
and little by little we're going to have our party restore the charm that Exeter once had and deserves.
It's not
And,
little by little, though, is it? The other political parties see us
Yeah.
as the big problem. Reform has dominated virtually all of the
Labour
parties.
conference.
Yeah,
Labour
Labour,
conference.
Green. I mean, they've got a guy there who apparently, if he whispers in your ear at the right moment, he can grow boobs. So
I don't know what those
Don't-
are. Jess, could
don't want
you
him near me.
Flash the previous slide up, by the way. I just wanted to give a shout out to, well, both Anthony and Neil. Anthony, I think I mentioned last week. Anthony texts me at like 11:30 at night, and then Neil calls me at 5 o'clock in the flipping morning. I was over there early this morning, so we're working like mad.
well, I've had messages from Neil at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, Jess, next
Yeah, well,
slide, please.
my head kicks in, and I got to get
Let's
out
hear
of my head.
from got a little video of Nigel Farage, just maybe very briefly, because we got just a minute left.
The boss.
We have topped over 100 of the last opinion polls. Our lead is between 10 and 15% against any of the other parties. And I tell you what, given the state of chaos they're in, I think we can increase that lead further yet. Folks, it's happening.
Well said. Well said.
Thank you very much. And it's only 25 pounds to join up, unless you're like Anne, who's under 25, and then it's only 10 pounds, okay? So thanks very much. And we got the Exeter City Council elections coming up next year, right? And we need people to run, right, Neil?
Yeah, well, we reviewed
already
the
have-
list this morning at 6 o'clock. We've still
Yeah.
got, we're going to recontact some of the people who actually put their names in, and some people only lost by a small margin, all right? But we're still, we want the councillors or people.
Well, they've got to be right.
Well, they've got to
Yeah.
come forward. You've got to be vetted.
They've got
by-
to have the passion for what we want as
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
and what reform wants.
Tony and I are considering standing as Exeter City Council. I don't preferably like to wear two hats. All right, we want people to stand up. It's all right talking about it. We need people to stand up. And
If
there's
you
a
don't-
lot of interesting people out there.
If
Phil,
you don't stand up, change will never happen.
Yeah.
I think in Tingbridge, isn't Martin Wrigley, the MP there, the Liberal Democrat MP, isn't he an MP, a district councillor, and a county councillor? Is he still a county councillor?
right, the bottom line is the more people we've got, the better job we can do. Okay, so Exeter City needs to be controlled by reform.
That
we can
includes
get things done.
volunteers as well, remember that.
Oh, yeah, we need volunteers, leaflet
Volunteers.
droppers, people who are wizards on
Yeah.
computers. Jess, thank you for doing what you've done in the background.
Absolutely.
Dana, fantastic. There's a lot of people in the background you don't need, you don't see. So well done.
Yeah.
I'll hand it back to Rob because I talked too much, Rob.
And Rob's looking at the clock.
No, thanks very much for that discussion. I mean, I just want to add to that. Yeah, we review the list. We have a candidate identified, and they're good candidates, Doug, for every ward for next year.
Good.
But we want more. We want to have an evaluation. We want to have the best.
Yeah, because
We want
they're
to know
not
it's the
necessarily going to
best.
pass the vetting. We
Yeah.
need people
Yes.
to stand up to the
Yeah.
plate.
Yeah.
So, okay, off we go. So, thanks for joining, guys. We're going to close with SoundPad 19, I think it is, or something like that. and a hat tip to Gillian Turner for this great song.
Do you know, it's a brilliant song. Everybody should go out and buy it. I don't even know if it's
Thanks
for
very much.
sale.
Okay,
I've
Jess,
downloaded it on my Shazam.
Let's flash that up, and then we'll.
I wanna heal, I wanna feel like I'm close to something